Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 16, episode number 3,546. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock, Montgomery. And you are in the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, the Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted. Clack, clack, driggity drum. All right, here we go. Couple busted having sex in a glass gondola. Remember them? Busted again singing karaoke in a photo booth. Young teens are now putting nicotine patches in the place where out pops the baby Ruth. Michigan man leaves pipe bombs at cell phone stores to rid world of cursing and porn. Mike has the 5 best types of penis extenders if you want a bigger horn. And a mom and daughter are charged with murder over an illegal butt lift. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, we've all done it. Maybe we injured ourselves, or maybe we noticed a weird lump on our body, or who knows, you start dealing with some new pain or discomfort. But instead of seeking medical attention, we ignore it and just hope it'll go away. Sometimes it does. Other times we wish we had gotten help sooner. One of the more well-known examples of this involves the late actor Dustin Diamond. He ignored an unusually large lump on his neck for about a month. And then finally, at the urging of his girlfriend, he went to the doctor, discovered he had cancer, and then 3 weeks later, he died. Don't ignore that stuff. More recently, a man avoided going to the hospital for 2 years in spite of knowing that something was wrong. Now, how do I know that he knew there was something wrong? It's very simple. You see, for 2 years, he urinated and ejaculated out of his anus while he farted and removed fecal matter through his penis. Again, this was his situation for 2 years, and he chose to ignore it. He finally went to the hospital because his testicles started to hurt. He'd put up with that for 5 days. Then he went to go see a doctor. Now, that's a good reason to seek help, but then so is farting out of your own penis. Anyway, it's like I said at the top, we've all ignored symptoms or an injury up until we didn't. And that's what we want to talk about with today's question of the day. The question is, when and why did you finally seek medical help? Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer with Memorial Day values at Lowe's. Choose 4 or more eligible Samsung appliances to complete your dream kitchen and laundry room. Plus, get 10% back via MasterCard gift card rebate. Also, save now on the latest Samsung appliances, like the bespoke refrigerator with panels in a variety of colors to mix and match. It's an easy way to create your own unique look. Memorial Day values start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today. Offer ends June 13th. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All patrols and away we go. Welcome to season 16, episode number 3,546. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. That is a fact. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Yeah. Steve, I don't know how you do it, but you find 3 stories each and every week, and they are somewhat disturbing. And those are probably pretty hard for you to find.
Hard to do, man. Hard to do.
It really is.
The world's a positive place.
So how are we looking this week on Who Sucks Less?
Oh, just ridiculous and disgusting.
Okay.
And mildly funny.
All right.
One of them.
So it's not as brutal as it normally is.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, okay. All right. Very cool. Oh, by the way, coming up, more Men's Room Monday through Friday as we head on over to the Odyssey app and the Men's Room Appy Hour. Appy, A-P-P-Y. Get it? Because we're on the app. And because we're on the app and not on these airwaves, different set of rules. Get to be a little bit more open in our conversations. And you get more Men's Room Monday through Friday at 6. We got another Men's Room Appy Hour on the way for you today. One more programming note. Believe it or not, we have yet another chance for you to win tickets to Ghost and Volbeat.
Get out of here.
Now, here's what they told us to do. Climate Pledge Arena, all right? So we have a secret word. And we're supposed to give you a time every day, different time. Sure. So that you'll remember the time. Then we'll give you the word. You go to KISW.com. You put the word in there, and then you're eligible to win the tickets for Ghost and Volbeat, which should be a great show. Trust me. If you've never seen either one of those two bands, we've had Volbeat a number of times, A Pain in the Grass.
Correct.
I've seen Ghost a few times. They put on an amazing show. It's spectacular. So here's what we're going to do today. All right. So the time that we have picked today is 4:20.
Ooh, wow. Time.
At 4:20. We will give you a chance to be able to get that secret word, then head to KISW.com, and a chance to win those tickets. Very cool. Yeah. Just remember, it's 4:20 is the time. Or as close as we can get. Sometimes the tunes run a little bit long through there, or the commercial break or whatever. Around that time. You know what I mean? 4:20. So there you go. All right, today on our question, when and why did you finally seek medical help? Let's start with this story, and it's somewhat disturbing. Of course, they say, if you start urinating out of your anus and passing gas through your penis, that's a terrible mix-up, and you should probably get that checked out.
Yes!
However, one 33-year-old man, whose identity and location, fortunately for him, remains unknown, decided to wait 2 years before telling doctors things aren't really as they should be. An article published in a U.S. Science journal last month with the incredible title, A Curious Case of Rectal Ejaculation, reads, a 33-year-old male with a history of illicit drug use presented with 5 days of testicular pain, noted a substantial amount of urine and sperm passage from his rectum. In addition,
I gotta ask.
Yes?
Like, if he's having self-time, is he
You sit on the toilet, Ted.
I don't know.
If you're going to masturbate and that is where things finish, I wonder if that's how he discovered that. Like, I hope he wasn't actively having sex with someone.
I have a lot of
the moment
questions.
they're like, hey, something weird just happened. Yeah, that's a bit much.
Didn't they checked him out down there. It looked like he had a urinary tract infection, maybe. But they did a CT scan of his pelvis, revealing swelling in his left testicular tube and a gas-filled structure in his prostate, which was then communicating with his rectum. The finding of the structure led scientists to believe he had a chronic appearing rectal prostate fistula. Before this was confirmed with a special x-ray, kind of a cardiogram, if you will. I'm not sure what the hell they did. The article goes on to state the individual was in a 3-week comatose state as a result of being intoxicated with cocaine and a hallucinogenic drug. Oh, my goodness. What is, Ted, do you have any idea what that is? Phencyclidine? Have you ever heard of that one?
I have not.
I don't know. I just figured I knew a lot of hallucinogenic drugs. I've heard the terms. I haven't done them all. But
but if it's going to make my penis poop, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, a catheter was used during the hospitalization, which caused significant trauma. Thankfully, a surgical procedure resolved the issue, and the patient recovered with only mildly reduced ejaculatory volume over several months. Well, you get the idea. So anyway, he was
2 years.
Yes.
Now look, I mean,
his whole bottom was switched.
Right. I
So
mean,
he was defecating out of his penis.
And ejaculating from his anus. And again.
Yeah, exactly. And you thought silly string was fun as a kid.
Now, here's the thing about this dude. He did not go to the doctor for that.
No.
He went to the doctor because his testicles hurt, which I completely understand. And you got to think when the doctor says, well, are there any other symptoms we should know about? Like, oh, yeah, actually there are. When I ejaculate, it's from my rectum. And when I defecate, it's from my penis. And if I'm the doctor, like, you need to start with that. Like, that's where we should begin. And look, most guys do not like going to the hospital. We're very open and honest about that. You can call us babies, whatever. It's just not something we want to do, right? So people have broken limbs, they've broken toes. You wait a while, you go, they tell you broke it. The doctor, of course, says you should come here sooner. We get all that. I will say this, and I say this with absolute certainty. The first time I poop out of my penis, I'm at the doctor's within 20 minutes.
Sure. Absolutely.
There's nothing about that I can blow. And look, we've all had the occasional weird lump on your arm or you get some weird rash and you just kind of ignore it. Right. Maybe you ignore it for a few weeks and eventually get help or it goes away. In that scenario, sure. If I went to the bathroom during a commercial break and that happened, I would have no problem walking back and saying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going home.
Right.
Show's over.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
I mean, I'd go to the emergency room.
How did you wait 2 years? 2 years.
Yeah. It seems to me that my timing on this stuff, I had, 6 months ago or something, I had some weird pain, testicular pain, right? So it's getting to the point where I'm thinking, is this a hernia down there? I've never really had a hernia down there before, so I don't really know, but I just know that occasionally when I would bend over to pick something up or if I tried to run or anything like that, I would kind of get a dull pain. Right. So, I call the doctor, and doctor's, he's gone for 2 weeks. But I got to get in there, man.
Right.
Every time I have a problem down there, I always get like another doctor. And every single time, it's got to be the best looking doctor in the hospital.
Oh, of course.
And she is the one taking care of me. I don't really care if it's a male or a female. It doesn't matter. It's just never my regular doctor. And it's always someone else. Like with my regular doctor, you know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, yeah, man, no problem. Take my pants off. But, like for anybody else, it's just like, this is weird.
But does your regular doctor send in... So I have a regular doctor, right? And they had that weird thing on my ass, and that thing hurt. And just like, well, not like this guy, but like, hey, I'm going to go to the doctor. I was only there for like 2 days before... Yeah. I'm going to the doctor because it's on my butt. Like, if you're anywhere under my pants zone, above my knees, I'm going to the doctor. So... I had my regular doctor, and when I first checked in, we trade a few comments, and I fill out whatever paperwork. And then he leaves the room and sends in his assistant. All right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I just told you what my situation is, but now this assistant, who I have not spoken to, I have to explain this again. And it's not like you're telling these stories with this great deal of pride. It's like, there's a huge lump on my ass and it hurts. Right. So with the assistant, who I don't know, he tells me to turn around, drop my pants. And it's already humiliating enough because I'm just standing there with my pants down. And I know I'm showing him my ass. And it was a one-word quote, and I can't remember if it was whoa, ooh, or wow. But he says...
Oh, because you can't see this.
I can't see it, but that's his response to... Because I don't know what it looks like. I just know it's there. So That is a medical practitioner's response to seeing the thing on my ass. Mm-hmm. So he says a few words to me, then he leaves and my pants are back up. And then my doctor, my actual doctor, who I talked to just 20 minutes ago, now he's in and I have to go through it again. And I got to drop my pants again. Like, how many people want to see? Like, you're the guy that I came here to see. The only thing the medical assistant did was confirm that I was not lying.
So what did they do? Did they pop the damn thing?
No. The first thing he did, and I hate this, right? So it's already sensitive. It hurts. I bent over this table. I'm coming into work later that day. You know what I mean? I just want to get this over with. And I feel his finger like poke it so I can get an idea of what's going on. And that hurt. I mean, it hurt a lot. And I kept telling him, I'm like, dude, this thing's like super sensitive, man. You got to stop poking around. So they gave me a script for antibiotics. So the problem was it still hurt for like 3 days. Like, it's not like they took care of it, so to speak, but I got my script. I took the antibiotics. And even then, I don't know that it got rid of it because you guys may or may not remember, but the thing like busted open in my pants during the show.
Yeah, as I say, during.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you also said it was a tremendous feeling of relief.
Oh, my God, the relief. But I don't want to, like, we're literally talking on the show, and I think, Miles, actually, you were speaking, and you get this intense pain, then this thing pops, and you can feel this slow ooze of whatever it is that's inside of it. Mm-hmm. Just like, so we go to break, I go into the bathroom. It looked like someone took the biggest zit in the world and smashed it into my pubic hair. Yeah. I mean, I looked at my pants, I'm like, oh, my God. I don't need to see this, but the problem, we still got like 3 more hours of show. So the whole time we're doing the show, the only thought on my mind is how gross my interior is. Mm-hmm. It is just covered in stuff, man. And then I go home and had to like shampoo it out of my pubes, wash all this stuff off. But I was glad it went away.
Yeah.
But the point is simply this. Mm-hmm. As soon as I knew this thing was on my butt, I'm at the hospital.
Yeah. I was in San Diego, California, probably about 5 or 6 Christmases ago. My uncle wanted to get out of town. I was like, I'll get out of town with you, man. Why don't we just go to San Diego? You can never have a bad time in San Diego. So I made my uncle down there. And, of course, it's, 75 and sunny in the middle of December, even though they have an ice skating rink on the beach, Coronado.
On the beach,
swear to God,
that's pretty cool.
They do. There's a beautiful hotel there. Of course, I'm in San Diego. So I am not going to dress like I normally do, which is completely depressed Seattle stuff. Right. Like, I've got some white shorts. I've got, you know what I mean? I've got some cargo pants that are lighter and all that stuff. So, you know what I mean? I'm gonna dress San Diego when I'm down there. Well, after about 2 days of drinking, excessive drinking, smoking, walking around and everything else, and I've dealt with hemorrhoids for a long time. They really, really start to flare up. I mean, they really start to flare up. So, and by the way, at this point in time, the walking, the drinking, all the things are just making this horrible. So we decided to go to Coronado Beach in the afternoon. There's a lovely little cabana out at this the beautiful hotel. I believe the hotel was actually featured in Anchorman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where he confronts what's the guy's name, Mantooth?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, out there on the beach, and the two action news teams are going to fight and all that stuff. That's basically where this Coronado Hotel is. I can't remember. It might be called the Coronado Hotel. I can't remember. Anyway, they have these really nice wooden stools that are kind of hard put into the pier there, right?
Okay.
And you're sitting in a bar and you're watching just beautiful people walk by. I mean, just like it's awesome. It's a great place to drink. You could spend hours there, just people watching, having beers. There's a TV with sports on them. Like, this is why the Californians don't go to football games, to anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no reason to.
I mean, they'll tell you.
Just watch it on TV at the beach. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a much better scenario. Like, I got it at that point. But at any rate, so I go use the bathroom in the hotel. I come back out, and I plop myself down on this wooden bar stool. And I feel basically what feels like probably the relief that you had when that thing busted
on my ass, yeah.
And I realized that I had busted something downstairs.
Are you in the white shorts?
I am in the whitest pair of shorts
White shorts.
possibly find. These are, so I jump up as fast as I can, because I know what happened. Bless you. Now I'm clinching. Because, like, that can't touch cotton.
Right.
Like, that's got to stay where it is. So I waddle, back to the hotel, and I go in the bathroom again, and I'm like, oh, my God. Like, this is not good. This is a lot of blood, right? So, but fortunately, the pain was gone. So that was a big thing. So the first thing I did when I got back was I made an appointment to the doctor. And after all of these years, I finally went in and had a hemorrhoidectomy. And it was, without a doubt, the most painful thing that I have ever been through as an adult. I have never cried even as a kid, I don't really remember crying too much from physical pain.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've been beamed in the head with a baseball before, and just, it kind of stunned me. Big, things growing off the side of my head. I didn't cry. You know what I mean? It didn't make me cry. The pain wasn't enough to make me cry. Yeah, I was stunned that it happened.
Sure.
But I wasn't crying. I would get into the bathtub at night because you couldn't really, once you need to still use the bathroom. But keep in mind, that's the area where you had surgery. And the surgery is for the most part internal. So you still had to use the bathroom. So I'd fill the bathtub up with Epsom salts. You know what I mean? And that was the only way that I could clean myself after I attempted to use the bathroom. And by the way,
But you couldn't wipe your ass?
Oh, you know how this works. Whenever you're constipated, you're on all these pain medications and all that stuff, and you're sitting on the toilet, and it's just like, and you feel like you gave birth to a 10-pound baby boy. Mm-hmm. And you look down, and it looks like a peanut M&M. Oh. You know what I mean? You're like, that's it. Oh, that worked for that. And then you got to jump down into this just salt water that just burns the living hell out of you. And I remember it was like 2:30 in the morning. And I'm just sitting in the bathtub, and I realized that a tear had rolled down each cheek. And I'm like, holy Christ, I'm crying. Like, this pain is so bad. 2:30 in the morning. Oh, yeah. Like, because, it was just, I will say this. The doctor himself, he said that was one of the worst cases that he'd ever seen.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And I was like, really? And that's what he does for a living. So he was the guy who actually does the surgery.
Are you proud of that, or are you disturbed?
I think it was bad enough where I'll probably need to go back and have another surgery.
Really?
At some point in time. Yeah.
Was it that bad, or had you let it just go too long?
Or you
both?
know what? I probably a combination of the two. I don't know. But I wish that I had gotten that problem taken care of many, many, many years. But if it wasn't for me sitting on that stool in San Diego and in front of beautiful people, you know what I mean? And thinking to myself, oh my God, like, do they have a gift shop in there?
I popped a hemorrhoid.
Can I go buy pants? I might need to. Fortunately, I did not have to, but I was still worried about the entire, is this going to leak? So, of course, by the way, when I was in the hotel, strategized and made basically the equivalent of a butt tampon out of some toilet paper. Just jammed it up there, pinched real tight, walked around the rest of the day like a white guy.
Hemorrhoid people are crazy, too. Because it's so painful, but, there's no limp or anything. I know a couple people that have them, and one person, once in a while, they'll just sit down funny. I'll go, are you in pain? Is it your hemorrhoid?
People think sometimes, and I do remember this, because sometimes you just kind of need to get up on one cheek. You're like, dude, are you going to fart? And I'm like, no, man, I just need time to get the pain down so I can level out both cheeks.
And I'm sure it's just because of where hemorrhoids are, but people are very embarrassed. I'm always like, oh, you're in pain. Okay, just say that.
Right, so you got to say.
Oh, my God.
You don't say you got hemorrhoids.
It is the worst.
By the comment here says, Jesus Christ, I'm trying to eat, and this is what I tune into.
What are you eating?
Yep.
What are you eating, man?
Oh, it's a burrito.
Or a baby Ruth. When and why did you finally seek medical help? 206-421-ROCK.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer with Memorial Day values at Lowe's. Choose 4 more eligible Samsung appliances to complete your dream kitchen and laundry room. Plus, get 10% back via MasterCard gift card rebate. Also, save now on the latest Samsung appliances, like the bespoke refrigerator with panels in a variety of colors to mix and match. It's an easy way to create your own unique look. Memorial Day values start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today. Offer ends June 13th. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
99.9 KISW. The men's room is in progress.
When and why did you finally seek medical help? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, George. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hola, bitches.
Hola.
When was Sunday? Why is because my wife made me.
That's how that works.
What happened was about 3 weeks ago. Well, my son bought a house in Ocean Shores, a while ago. And about 3 weeks ago, he decided he wanted to make a beach in the back of his house. So we moved 3 yards of sand and got his beach built and got all that done. Well, what happened is I have I can't say the word. I got it written down here. It's indirect INGUINAL hernia. Anyway, what that means is a birth defect that happened in the womb, and it took almost 69 years to break open. And what happened is my intestines came out of that. Yeah. Well, see, that's the whole thing. See, what you guys talked about before the show, this is nothing compared to what you guys went through. But anyway,
I don't know about that, homeboy.
I don't know if I want to trade places with you.
I think I'd rather have that thing on my butt, to be honest
I'd rather
with
sit
you.
and cry in a bathtub.
So when you...
Hey, Phil, I had that thing. I went through the state. You know what that happened to me? I had the damn hemorrhoid on the butt, too, and I had to go through 3 different people to show it to them, too. But anyway, this thing here, what happens is the tear is doing. So now I go to the doc. After the emergency room, I call my primary guy, and he says, well, I'm going to put this on stat. Well, they said stat means now. So that was 2 days ago. Today, I got the phone call, and they said, you can come in October 25th.
Oh.
I said, yeah. I said, what's stat about that? I mean, really.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. Did you have plans for Saturday?
No.
Okay, that's good.
But anyway, my whole point was that it's a birth defect that took forever, and now... So anyway, the guy pushed the thing back in there. He told me that if I would have waited, a few more days, or at least 2, he said that what would happen, there's no blood supply, and it would have strangled, because it was like a horseshoe coming out. And I couldn't even fart, man. I mean, there was nothing coming out for 3 days.
I don't know. So what is it that you told your wife that your wife said go to the... Was it like, baby, I can't fart and I'm trying?
No, it wasn't just that part of it. She saw me in so much pain, and she actually told me Sunday morning. She says, "Hey, if you're feeling like this by noon, we're going." Well, it was about just before noon. I put my pants on. I said, "Hey, we're going," and I was in there for about 2 hours. And the guy finally, after the CAT scans and all the stuff, he went and pushed the intestines back in, and he said, now don't do no lifting. He said 20 pounds, and then the other guy said 10 pounds. But anyway,
so you have an excuse to do nothing.
How does your son feel about this? Does he feel bad that he, put you through this?
I didn't hear you. What?
I said your son. How's he feeling about this? Like, oh great, I invited Dad over and almost killed him.
No, see, I'm not going to tell him. I hope he's not listening. I'm not going to even see. I can't blame him.
Sure you can. You can.
This is a great opportunity to get a free week at Ocean Shores.
It's a congenital defect,
right? But he doesn't need to know that.
You don't got to tell him all that. Right. You just tell him that as a result of you helping him, that you really hurt yourself.
And don't tell him yet. Wait till Thanksgiving.
And that you and mom need a free week at his brand new home in Ocean Shores.
Yeah, because you can't do any lifting. Because after you helped him, you see,
you can read and stuff.
I like that he couldn't pronounce it. I mean, normally when the doctor...
that's because it's new.
No, I know. But normally when the doctor gives you new... Like, you'll just remember the term of the thing. But like, I got it written down. It's, this.
Yeah. We will not have any phone calls today about anybody waiting on a genital problem.
Oh, somebody here.
Really?
No, somebody here
say
says
100%. We're not going to.
Dude, I had a buddy that literally almost died like 2 months ago because he had a ruptured gallbladder.
Okay.
But it had been bad for years. And he was just like, I'll just take some Advil and drink some water and this and that. And then finally it's like he's like curled up on his bathroom floor and his girl's like, go see a doctor. And they're like, as soon as he saw the doctor, they're like, all right, surgery.
If it's not genitalia, it's just hard to convince a guy to go. Someone here says it's true. The dudes only go to the doctor when it involves their junk. I found a lump next to my boys. Turned out to be a cyst, but the doctors tested my urine while I was there, and I got diagnosed with diabetes. Good times.
Oh, no.
Ted, I know you said, what was it, like you had a hair bump on your inner thigh?
Oh, yeah,
But did not know it was a hair bump.
Yeah.
How long did it take? From the time you discovered, a hair bump. From the time you discovered a hair bump, but it's close to your genitals.
It's like 2 days.
That's it.
Right. And then she's like, it's just an ingrown hair. I was like, all right.
Right. But it's so
you're right.
checking, man.
Same thing. Like, right. Generally, you got to make a doctor's appointment like months in advance. I was like, I need to come in now.
Right. It's next to my testicles. I'm sorry. I mean, I'd go to the emergency room and yell it. It's about my testicles. I'm not waiting. Mm-hmm. I'm on the doctor right now. Hello, Robert. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
How's it going, guys?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm good.
So why did you seek medical help?
Well, it was my first year with the 82nd Airborne. This is about 20 years ago. And we were doing a night jump on Sicily drop zone. This is in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And it was like I said, it was a night jump, and the ground comes up a little quicker than you expect when you're jumping at night.
By the way, just real quick, when you're training for night jumps, what is the training? Is the training just, hey, remember when we jumped during the day? Just do that again, but it's dark out?
No, you do a night jump in airborne school. So you have 5 jumper to get the badge, your airborne badge. But because I was going to the 82nd and I was going to be jumping full time, like I said, this is the first year. It wasn't my first night jump with the 82nd. It was just it was a mass tack, which means we had like several airplanes and a whole crap load of people exiting the aircraft at the same time.
Okay.
So anyway, I hit the ground bad. I had a bad PLF, which stands for parachute landing fall. You're supposed to hit the balls of your feet, your calf, your thigh, your push-up muscle, and then you're supposed to roll while turning into your dominant side, whichever that is.
So like a shoulder roll?
Yeah, kind of like that.
All right.
But I ended up feet, ass, head. And I fractured my coccyx, my tailbone.
Yeah.
How long does that take to heal?
I don't think it's ever actually healed.
Because you can't put that in a cast.
I don't think they really do.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do, right? It's like a broken rib.
Yeah, it's not like they can cast your ass.
No, exactly. So, that would be really difficult to use the bathroom. So now can you walk with this going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's like I use a donut now. I have for the thing that they give people for hemorrhoids. I guess Thrill would be familiar with that.
Look, I'm not the one with the hemorrhoids.
Yes, no, ask Steve.
I just had a big old...
I'm sorry.
No, look.
No, it's perfectly fine with me.
I had a huge lump.
Steve has hemorrhoids.
I had a huge lump on my ass, but I did not have the roids.
I apologize.
We're like, it's okay to talk about. I didn't have it.
Yeah.
So, it's like that... the messed up thing, well, in addition to obviously the break, which was bad, but it was... We did a 12-mile road march back to the barracks that night. And so it's like every step of the way was agony. Every time we stopped for a break, for a water break, and everybody else was sitting down and chilling, I would bend over with my rucksack on my back, or I'd take my rucksack off and just because I couldn't sit down.
Is your rucksack? I mean, it can be weighted if you're jumping out of a plane, right? Or do you have full gear?
Yeah, you got a full combat load. It's like. When you're jumping combat equipment, you've got your rucksack, or what we called our Alice pack.
And how many pounds is that? 30?
No. If you're doing a timed road march, normally it's 35 or more. But on average, with the 82nd, you're jumping probably 50 pounds or more in your rucksack.
And you're doing that in combat boots. I can't imagine. I bought a rucksack, right? And it comes with plates that you put in the back.
Yeah.
I did like a 10 miler with, I don't know, 15, 20 pounds in my back.
All right.
I could barely move for 3 days. I mean, and you're not moving at a fast pace or anything like that. I've got Brooks shoes on. I'm not wearing combat boots. I'm wearing like well supported, you know what I mean, tennis shoes.
Right.
And that damn thing kicked my ass about it. Like, I don't know how many more times I want to do this. Like, this is not my form of exercise. Like, this is hell.
I did a 30 mile. I was stationed in Korea prior to Fort Bragg, and they do a thing there where they have to. Well, there's a ruck march in Germany that they do every year, which is 100 miles. It's broken into 4 days. They do 25 miles every day for the 4-day break in order to commemorate a movement during World War II.
Well, all you do is sweat. I mean, it's amazing. You're just dripping. You cannot believe just how tiring that is, man. It just takes time.
Anyway, it's like, so I get after the jump, get back to the barracks, drive back to the car as I'm doing, or I should say drive back home. I'm doing the one cheek perch all weekend long, complaining about it, self-medicating with alcohol, and finally got tired of hearing my wife complain about me complaining. So I went ahead and went to the doctor, and that was when I got x-rayed, and they're like, yeah, you fractured your coccyx.
My wife broke, well, she didn't break her tailbone, but when she was giving birth to our daughter, whatever it is our daughter did in her last final push to get out of there, like in that moment, broke my wife's tailbone.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, just like you're saying, they heal. I don't know that they heal correctly because, again, it's not something you can cast, but every once in a while, depending on the weather or if she sits down wrong, like it all comes flooding back.
Did you say you still use a donut? This was 20 years ago?
Yeah, I'm sitting on one right now in my truck.
I mean, so no matter where okay, we're going to go to Applebee's. We're going to have a lovely dinner, right? I walk in, you got a donut under your arm, is that what you're telling me?
No, I don't. I'll bring one on a plane if the flight is longer than 4 or 5 hours.
All right.
But no, in a restaurant, it's kind of embarrassing. I'll sit there and suck it up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I would too, bro. Right there with it.
But I have to admit, man, like, okay, it looks like I'm going to have the entire aisle to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, the seats beside me, they're still empty. Looks like the last of the people are getting on the plane. Now you walk in, you got a donut under your arm, right? And you sit beside me and you put the donut in the seat and then you sit down. I'm going to be like, oh, man, what is going on here?
Do you ask?
Yeah, like, do you have hemorrhoids? I had hemorrhoids. No.
I mean, I think it depends how long the flight is. If I'm flying from Seattle to San Francisco, I'm not going to ask. It's a short enough flight I can bite my tongue. Flying to the East Coast, we got 5.5 hours together. By hour 3, first beverage cart, like, hey, man, I'm not trying to pry in your personal business. Why are you sitting on your
How after 20 years does that thing not somewhat heal up? Or it just doesn't heal correctly? If it's fractured, that means it's cracked.
It's cracked, right. But there's because you can't set it, and everything you do, your tailbone essentially is involved with.
Right.
If you walk, if you sit, if you lay down. Like, she was in a lot of pain, man. They doped her up on some kind of medication. And, but I mean, she couldn't sleep at night every time she
Did she know what happened? Because she probably had an epidural, right?
So she had an epidural, so she didn't know a lot of what was going on, but the kid pops out, and then as the epidural starts to wear off, she was just in a lot of pain. Mm-hmm. You know, and they're like, oh, it's just post-pregnancy stuff. And she's like, no, I get that, but this pain is not where the kid came from, essentially. Right?
Gotcha.
Because they weren't a lawyer.
Right.
But yeah, so they did a quick x-ray.
Maybe you got to get one of those padded toilet seats. You know what I'm saying? Like Grandma used to have. Yeah, those are nice.
The donut, too, I think if you're carrying that on a plane, it's an age thing.
At a certain age, you don't care. You're like, yeah, because I'm old.
I think Miles is in the tough age range. Because if you're like in your 20s, it's like, that guy must have hurt himself.
Yeah.
And if you're old, people go, all right, that guy's old. But you don't want to be like, oh, I'm 50, but I got to use a donut.
You know what I would do, man? Here's how I'd do
it. Like, I don't want to use a donut.
Here's how
with that guy.
Here's how I would disguise it. I go buy one of those neck pillows. I get the biggest, thickest one I can find. Like the linebackers in the 80s used to wear, you know what I mean? Like, just get one of those things and just slowly just stick it under my ass.
That's thinking. Yeah. The neck pillow.
Yeah.
I used to rock one of those.
What's that?
The old school neck rolls, just the big tube.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't even close to your neck. It was like halfway off your back.
No. I thought it looked cool.
Eric Dickerson or something. When and why did you finally seek medical help? 206-421-ROCK.
Why do they make those donuts look like donuts?
You mean
is that what you want to sit on?
Donut?
Yeah, they have like donuts you can like use in pools and stuff.
Yeah, but in a pool, you're in a good mood, man. You're feeling festive. If you got hemorrhoids so bad that I can't sit on a plane, like, don't make this look happy. Because that is not the vibe you're giving off.
I'm just saying, if I sit down next to you and I got the donut, you're like, he's got hemorrhoids. Like, And a sense of humor.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a weird.
This guy's
dude,
all right.
dude. That is.
I'm sure he's messed up.
That is a weird section of Rite Aid to be in, man. As far as the people around you.
Oh, sure.
Anytime you're like in that section of where those types of things are, because they got they have the handles for the showers.
Oh yeah, all that good stuff, right?
All the stuff that's just basically saying like I can't just do it on my own. You know what I mean?
Right, I'm not okay.
I'm not all right. Like my body is not working anymore.
Dude, that's what it was like when I had to get the compression sleeve for my leg.
Same place.
Before the vein surgery, right. So first of all, when I first went, they were like, we don't have any of the black ones. So I had to get a nude one, so I just kept wearing jeans. And then the girl has to come in and like show you how to put it on. Then she goes, you're a lot younger than most of our customers. I bet you can do this on your own. I was like, yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Great.
I know.
And how long did you wait to do that surgery?
Oh, man, that was years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I couldn't get it done. Until it was painful, it was cosmetic.
Oh,
for insurance purposes.
Yeah.
So then that's why you had me kick you in the leg a bunch of times.
Beat me with this golf club real quick.
Now it hurts. Finally. Thank you, medical insurance.
It only took it took like 5 or 6 years. Finally, they were like, all right.
You know, just lied to him like, I'm in excruciating pain. Can I go now?
Yeah.
A couple of comments that came in that says, I had a problem with my foreskin as a kid. I don't know what the problem was, and I'm not telling you. It says waited 4 or 5 years before finally getting it. I just feel like a lot of things could go wrong. Anyway.
I just had a general problem.
Just had a general problem with foreskin, you know.
All right.
Waited 4 or 5 years before finally getting a check. Ended up getting circumcised for my 16th birthday.
Oh, get out of here. You lost the aardvark.
Someone else says, I had staph infection on my gooch. It was about the size of a large egg, and it was the worst thing I've ever experienced. It popped on Christmas Day when I was at my grandma's house.
Well, that's a Christmas color.
And then here's one that Mike and I are a little troubled with. I've had a smelly belly button for probably 5 years. I thought it was kind of normal until it started bleeding. Going to the doctor at the end of the month.
Also, there's no ending to the story on this, I guess.
We don't know with the bleeding belly button. They go to the doctor at the end of the month. Please let us know what that is.
Yeah,
I've never.
That belly button is a stinky place.
They probably just honestly, it's probably just a little cut in there.
Maybe, but again, I've had a smelly belly button for probably 5 years. So, not their entire life. They are noting that in the last 5 years, it has been noticeably smellier than it was before.
Yeah, I understand.
This is a time that person needs ointment.
I understand it's painful right there, right? You know what I mean? Like if you kind of like put your finger in there or whatever, but isn't it kind of like it's still like a
orifice?
Yeah, I mean,
kind of, because it doesn't lead anywhere.
Right, I know, but
you know what I mean? It's
how far could you go in the belly button? Like, it seems to me like it's a window or a door. You know, like your nostril or your ear canal, or you know what I mean?
I think it depends on weight. If you remember, about a year ago, I can't remember if it was shot of the day or something, but a real heavy-set guy, he was going to prison for whatever. They did the search on it, and they checked under the fat rolls. That wasn't where he was hiding. So remember, he had like 2 packs of cigarettes. It was a substantial amount of contraband.
So it could be used as a
his
fanny
belly
pack.
button. Yeah, I mean, like they had to reach into his belly button and pull all the scrap.
God. Yeah, oh God, this cigarette tastes funny.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Do you ever find yourself just pulling out the lint like without even thinking about it?
Yeah, it's just like
in the morning, you're like PM. It's like, what am I doing?
This is not sweater season. This is sweater season.
I know.
When and why did you finally seek medical help? 206-421-ROCK.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer with Memorial Day values at Lowe's. Choose 4 or more eligible Samsung appliances to complete your dream kitchen and laundry room. Plus, get 10% back via MasterCard gift card rebate. Also, save now on the latest Samsung appliances, like the bespoke refrigerator with panels in a variety of colors to mix and match. It's an easy way to create your own unique look. Memorial Day values start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today. Offer ends June 13th. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.